Hi, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. I am going to do a very quick podcast today as an Ascension update and an update on the new moon that is hitting on December the 12th. I am recording this on December the 11th just because this is very timely for what's going on and the energy. So you may be hearing this after the fact, but that is part of having a podcast. So, this last week has been extremely interesting and very challenging. We are receiving energies on this planet that are unlike anything I think any of us have experienced. Some of you are not feeling them at all. Some of you may be feeling them very deeply. We are really at a very critical point and a massive change point on this planet as it relates to moving into fifth dimensional consciousness. Not only are we receiving massive energies, last week especially, we had 2 days of gigantic energies. The Schumann resonance was showing 2 days of basically angel wings that were coming in. And we've had a lot of clearing of old energies, especially in the stomach area and the root chakra, old programming, but we are getting a flood of brand new energy coming in. This is causing a lot of different symptoms to come in. I am fighting off a cold right now that started in yesterday. And that could be something that you are doing to clear out more stuff from the system. But the biggest things are feeling very dizzy, almost like if you sit down on the ground, it starts spinning. That's how dizzy. It's almost like your equilibrium is off. And the other way I can equate it is almost like those simulations where you're flying, like skydiving, or even those that you see astronauts training for, where there's zero gravity. That is very much what it feels like. It just feels that you're not quite fully here, but there is a small tether, almost like a balloon. You're the balloon, and there is a small string that is keeping you corded in. That's been the big feeling and consensus of many people that I've talked to. Just feeling out of sorts. The vision has been extremely blurry. Or super crisp, one or the other. It's the eyes are really adjusting a lot. Lots of headaches, especially a lot of pressure in the third eye area and in the crown chakra to allow even more energies to come in, and also recalibration of your third eye to be able to get deeper insights and visions. And then just outside, every morning I've been waking up and I've been looking out at sunset, and the skies have been almost crystal clear. We've had a few days of rain where I'm at, but it's been crystal clear blue skies. The sunsets are pink. I actually saw just pink clouds by themselves. It didn't even look like any sun was on it in any way. It was just beautiful, billowing pink clouds that were floating through the skies. And so it's so interesting to even see what nature is doing. And I go out for my daily walks. I have lots of old trees where I live, and it's just a different feeling. It's a different energy. And we are really on the precipice of a major pivot point of a massive shift happening for the collective consciousness, for the collective itself on this planet. And some of you know this, some of you are light holders, and you are feeling this at a very, very deep level, as you are also trying to navigate through this. I always talk about this, that it's almost like a growth spurt. It's almost like being a teenager again, and you're going through a growth spurt, and we're trying to just navigate how to deal with this growth spurt. And with so much light coming in, our systems are trying to expand. Our bodies, our light bodies are trying to expand. Our auras are trying to expand further and further and further out. And there's a contraction process and an expansion process that has to happen. And it's like going through a growth spurt because we're literally growing. Our auras are growing. Our energy fields are growing at a stronger and brighter and a faster rate. Some of you are going to move through this very quickly, and some of you may already be almost fully processed, not completely, but almost fully processed to hold that higher vibration. And if you're there, it's really important to be the ones to hold the vibration at the highest level. That's part of why we're here. We're here to hold that highest vibration. Some of you are going to move through this much, much slower, and that is just on your terms. You may not feel it as strongly. And that's part of the contract that you have made as you have come into this lifetime to determine whether you're on the fast timeline or the slower timeline. It doesn't really matter because everybody will be catching up at some point. It's all going to be perfectly timed the way it needs to be timed. Now, what some people are talking about is that this is all leading up to a wave of stronger energy that's going to come through that will impact everyone. Some people call this a solar flash. I am following some people who report on the solar weather. It does look like the sun is very, very, very active. And there's a lot of major places on the sun that they're watching very closely for a major flash to come in. Others don't believe it's going to be anything going to be caused by a flash off the sun. It is something else, a stronger wave of energy that's coming in. And I don't know if any of you have seen the reports of these big light waves coming into the planet that are coming in from spaces that scientists can't pinpoint where they're coming from. It's things they've never seen before, but these big blasts of energies are hitting the earth, and they can't pinpoint back to where it's coming from. So of course, this is all above my pay grade and my understanding, but it's interesting to get these little pieces of information here and there, because I think a lot of us are talking about the same thing, but just in different terminology of what we're feeling. But when this big wave of energy comes through, the stronger wave, this is going to create a timeline split that's even further, like a bigger timeline split than what we've been experiencing. We've been doing a lot of mini timeline splits as we go through this process. And that is why there's been a clearing process happening of people kind of falling off, or you just don't see people after a while. That's been very common. And I have noticed it in my personal life really since August. August has been a big shift where a lot of like timeline splits where you just don't interact with people anymore. You don't see people. I've noticed that I've had another split where traffic has been very quiet, unusually quiet. I went out to do some errands the other day. There was hardly anybody on the road. Even right before Thanksgiving, it was super quiet. There wasn't like the traffic and the people out that I normally would see. I went to the grocery store and it was almost dead. And this was right before Thanksgiving. So I can tell that there has been a shift happen to the point where I just don't see people. I don't interact with them. I don't talk with them. And they're just not out and about. So that's been interesting. But when this next wave comes in, there's going to be a larger timeline split. And I don't know how noticeable it's going to be, but I think for some people it will be very noticeable, and for others it may not be that noticeable at all. We also have a lot of beings that are on the planet right now, and they are assisting us with this transition. They are preparing us. They're getting us ready for this. They are assisting us with moving our bodies from a carbon-based system to a light-based system. So our bodies are constantly recalibrating right now. Just always recalibrating. Think about like a computer system doing a software upgrade. This is what we're doing. We're constantly upgrading. So it's really important to take care of yourselves right now. As I said, I'm kind of fighting off a cold, And part of this is just saying, okay, you need to sit, you need to rest. I've been trying to do hard exercises the last few days, and my body is like, nope, this is not an option. You cannot do this. We're literally trying to turn your body into a light, and you can't be picking up heavy weights and trying to do hard exercises. No, gentle only is what they keep telling me and showing me. So I'm over here in one way, yay. But in another way, I'm like, I really need to get my butt to the gym. No. So as you are navigating through this, just know it's really important. Drink as much water as possible. Eat as clean as you can. Just as much natural foods from the earth as you can. Drink plenty of water and just rest. Be as gentle as you can with yourselves. Because again, you're going through a major process. It's almost like being pregnant and growing a baby. It takes a massive amount of energy and to do that, and you're exhausted. And this is kind of how I feel. I'm just exhausted at that level. With that, we also have a big event happening this week. As I said, the 12/12 portal is tomorrow. This energy is amplified because it's a double-digit day. 12 and 12 is a double-digit day. So this is a very amplified energy. We also have, in coordination with that, the new moon in Sagittarius. This is what I would call, this is the last new moon of 2023. So intentions are really important to set with this new moon. And with a portal on top of that, it is a massive day for being able to do manifestation. Sagittarius is all about the 50,000 foot view. It is about higher education. It is about spirituality, religion. It's about international travel. So think about it. It is the centaur who's firmly, planted on the ground, but it has an arrow pulled back, a bow and an arrow pulled back, shooting at the stars. And while this is fire energy, it does have a lot of air symbolism around it as well. And this is about reaching to the stars. It's about, putting a vision and an intention out there that helps to bring this. And I always talk about that it's really looking at the 50,000 foot view of things. But if you look at the energetic shift that's happening right now and the expansion that's coming in to the energy for 2024, which is very fast paced, which is all about bringing in a new world, a new vision. This new moon is more like looking at a 50 million light year view. And a lot of what my guides have been showing me is they've been telling me, Christina, you can manifest literally anything with this full moon, this new moon. You can literally manifest anything. Beyond what you can even think about, you can manifest this in. And some of the things that they're showing me feel very Star Warsy, Star Trek-y, like just out of this world as far as the technologies, the tools, the healing modalities that we could be bringing in. And it's amazing, really, to think about the fact that whatever intentions we set could really bring about this whole new place. So thinking through the intentions that you're setting for this new moon in Sagittarius, really sky's the limit, but sky's the limit in the fact that we want to hold a frequency and a vibration of consciousness, of love, of unity, of oneness, of a world that allows for exchanges, open, honest, caring, loving exchanges. That is really where I'm going to put my focus on as far as putting in a manifestation of new things to come in. I think we really can look at out of this world visions. Really just go for the stars, go for the big one. And then as we reach into Capricorn season soon, we will be able to start to put plans in place to be able to get those things implemented. So dream big, dream really big, dream beyond what your wildest dreams can imagine for this new moon in Sagittarius. And as you continue to navigate through these shifts and changes that we're feeling with the energies, continue to just take care of you, rest, get really good food in your system, nourish yourself, take care of yourself, and connect with nature as much as possible. Sending you all the love. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed it, please rate, review, leave a message, or share with others who may find it helpful. You can engage with me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at The Stina Life. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.